My name is Fred Mawanda. I'm 39 years old. I was born in Masaka, which is in the southwest of Uganda. I grew up in this very area and I went to school in this very area. I'm married to Pauline. And we have 3 children, Ruth, Paul, and Timothy. I'm passionate about empowering young people. I have a story to share with you. Growing up in Uganda was characterized by mainly violence, which led to growing up in fear. We grew up under the dictatorship of Idi Amin, and we were young, and we saw a lot of violence in the country. I really remember one of the things that happened in this very area was when a soldier belonging to Idi Amin's army was killed. And in retaliation, the army killed up to 50 people. A lot of my friends lost their parents. They were either murdered or they just were disappeared by the state research agencies, and then they just grew up without any parents. We knew anytime anything you have can be taken away, especially by a soldier. And we grew up with a lot of fear.
Young people, I would say, they really are facing a lot of trouble, especially when they grow up in very simple and humble circumstances and they do not have the basic, the necessities of life.
Most of the young people are orphans because of the scourge of AIDS.
Many of them get to lose their parents and they are forced to be teenage parents, and some of them just drop out of school trying to look for ways to support their family. They've been forced onto doing things like prostitution in order to get money.
We struggle with self-image, desiring to be somebody.
I would tell you that many young people are not so formed, and we are not aware of what potentials we have. So once we realize that we have something in us, that potential, we can take that potential out.
I realized that NET was particularly working with young people, and I had a passion for young people because I realized what they were going through, that somebody could be able to help them. And I had been searching all over the different parts of the world to look for a successful Catholic youth ministry that is really concentrating on evangelization all over, and then I came across NET.
My name is Shane Bennett, and I first came here at the invitation of Bishop John Kagwa as the representative of NET Ministries. I was Executive Director of NET Ministries back in 2003 when an official invitation came to see what we could do to help the Diocese of Masaka. So I came first in 2004 in March and met with the Bishop and had my initial experience of Uganda and Africa. And the big question for me is, was there something that NET Ministries could do to assist the Bishop in his request for the formation of young people in the new evangelisation? And so I made a proposal to the Bishop that We begin in a simple way in the formation of young people, that we look at the idea of sending a team to Masaka to work here, because he also raised the possibility with me of, in time, establishing net ministries here in Uganda. We were called to make a beginning, and so that beginning is really what we've been working at over the last 3 years. In 3 years we've had 3 teams here, supported by young people from Australia, New Zealand, the United States, who would come and serve for 2, 3 and 4 months. And currently we have already established a local net team of young Ugandans who are caught up in their mission in the life of the church here in Uganda and are very excited about what's possible. One of the exciting things for our teams as they've worked here has been to find the response of young Ugandans.
NET is really making a tremendous difference in the lives of the people.
Over the last just 1 year, NET has reached out to more than 15,000 young people.
The young people have someone to look up to who says, yes, this is my decision to live for Christ, and they actually live it.
The basic gospel message is proclaimed, and it touches the lives of the young people using the NET format.
Young people, they want live things. So fun, if we include fun, there is music, there is acting, skits.
The way of ministering is so dynamic, you know, and we have skits, and we have dramas, and we have small groups.
When I move around Kampala streets, in other dioceses, in Masaka, someone come and approaches you and introduce herself or himself to you. I'm so and so, you came to our school and you shared with us, and my life changed.
We've seen young people come alive in their faith. We've seen a renewed enthusiasm. We've seen a renewed commitment to participating in their churches and to attending Mass. And we've seen young people who are strengthened in their Christian leadership.
The NET training has something to contribute for us as young people, and they have helped us. So every year there's NET training here, and they empower the young people. They teach us to have a passion and to have a vision and to seek for that vision. So the trainings actually, they empower us as young people, and they teach you to have a foundation for the future.
Youth leadership formation has been a strong part of our ministry here in Uganda right from the very beginning. But there was a new development that happened a couple of years ago when we decided to offer a week-long training program to adults in the Masaka diocese. What we actually see is the experience that was happening amongst the young people is now being replicated in the adults, and who are not only hungry and thirsty for this sort of formation, but have a great hope and a willingness to work towards a future. When I first made the proposal to the Bishop of how we could work here and how I saw net ministries serving in the local church in Masaka, I didn't envisage that we would begin a whole range of projects. The first of those was a place to gather, because programs for adults that we would run would actually be conducted out in the open under plastic. So it was a great motivator to say there's something more here, there's something about enhancing the dignity of the people that we're working with. Let's see what we can do to build a facility that will provide an opportunity for formation. I'm really excited to say that this coming week the centre will be opened and blessed. It's a real sense of accomplishment and a great joy in the lives of the people. It's a matter of trying to understand that this is life here, that there are not a lot of resources. There are not a lot of resources in the church, and there are certainly not a lot of resources available to young people. So there's been the need to develop crops, to buy land, and we've also initiated a number of projects to try and build some self-sustainability into the mission here. And so different projects with goats and bees and chickens have been launched and are underway, and it's also providing an opportunity for some employment for local people, and this will be an area that we'll have to develop. I think there's an incredible challenge that's before us, and We have received many different invitations from different parts of Africa. Now, we have been very strict about focusing our attention here in Uganda. For one reason is that we want to try and build a model with the view of it being replicated in other African nations. We're not lacking vision, we're not lacking possibility, we're not lacking young people who are ready to commit their lives. We're not lacking the incredible need for evangelization and for the formation of young leaders for the future of nations. And our desire is to see local Ugandan people come more and more into the leadership of what we've begun and to carry it forward in their own nation. And we have lots of reason to be hopeful.
For the first time in the history of the church in Uganda, the lay people have become so passionate about their role in the church.
I'm grateful to this group, the NET, for the evangelizing efforts and experiences that they are sharing with us.
We're just at the beginning. There is overall a big and bright future of what NET can do in realizing its vision of empowered young people who are a force of renewal in the church and in society.
Kanze nensaba nkwatireko lwe nabiyinza gwe kabonelako obuwanguzi akesigika bakwesiga sirema kukwebaza okuwulira omulanga gwa